These fobs are something that's been a long time coming. When we talk about these fobs, they're actually a way to gain access into the schools when the schools are locked down. It could be during an incident, or it could be after hours that we need to get into these schools. The doors are electronic to where you just need a fob to come up and unlock them. I was an SRO 5 years ago. I was able to actually petition with the school district to get the SRO's fobs to get us into schools. At that time, the SROs could not even get into the schools if we needed to, if we got locked down. The district worked with us at that time to get the SROs in, which is a great thing, but there, as you guys know, we only have 2 SROs in Casper. One works east side and west side, and like today, Officer Maurer actually is the only SRO because Officer Simons is off on duty somewhere else. So when I was working in the schools, if I've been at NC, I worked the West Side schools, if something would have happened at Dean Morgan and officers right around the corner, and granted, anytime an incident happens, the school district is instructed everyone to lock down those schools. An officer could be right across from Dean Morgan and could not get in that school until maybe someone from the district would come out from their office in their lockdown position to open the door for us for some reason. So now having that officers have these fobs, LAN is able to us in a timely manner to be able to respond to critical incidents that can happen in the school districts. So I think it's a great thing that we have now that our officers have it, that we can get it 24/7, be able to get in and do what we need to do. But mainly right now they're going to be in the high schools and middle schools because that's where the most incidents happen, and so the officers will be able to get into the schools.
This would appear to be just a very common sense, prudent move to ensure that the officers have the immediate access that they need, that, God forbid, something critical goes down in one of the schools and they need to get in there in an immediate and timely fashion. So this has been a long time coming, long overdue, one could argue, but the good news is we're here. We're finally here. The officers out on the street are going to be able to respond and have that immediate access. The department several years ago went to a one car per officer program in order to get a lot better visibility and presence around the city. And part of that program is even when officers are off duty, they can use that vehicle in an off-duty capacity, and their requirements with that, they have to be ready to respond to a critical or a priority 1 call or anything critical that they come across. So when you look at the number of cars that we have fielded out there and officers, whether they're on duty or off duty, and they're in those cars, and you have a critical incident kickoff at, say, NCHS, and you have an officer off duty driving by on CY, that officer with his radio on can immediately respond and get access from whatever north, south, east, west direction they need to get in that school and address that issue. So again, a long time coming, a lot of conversation and talks to get where we are. I want to thank the school district for helping to facilitate and take action to get us these fobs, and we're at a good place right now to affect better school safety and security of the children during the times that they're in school. So I thank again the Tacoma County School District for all their work in partnership and cooperation with us.
As recently as yesterday, I needed access to a school to deal with a student who was not necessarily disruptive, but seemed to be impaired. And I had to bang on the door and wait and wait and wait, and that's fine under that circumstance because it certainly did not qualify as an emergency. And it just reinforces the fact that had it been an emergency, I would have to wait to gain entry or facilitate entry by other means. By having access to essentially an electronic key in order to get in the door, in a case of an emergency, I would have been able to go right in. So just reinforces to me that the positive effect this is going to have on our ability to intercede in emergency situations in schools.